Okay, hey guys. So this popped in my head tonight and I just wanted to make a quick video. I know it's been a while. Here's the thing. Some of you are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Have you noticed that the more things you learn about, awaken to, research, the more you find out how you've been lied to in some way, shape, or form? Not just recent times and not just recent history times, but I'm talking even ancient times. The history of mankind, the history of the planet even, all potentially lies. And it got me thinking about the whole good versus evil thing, and how we have ancient texts that talk about how the battles between the good and the bad, the evil and the righteous, which then got me thinking, good and bad are still judgments, right? Because, heck, you've got comic books with evil villains who are doing atrocious things for the greater good. So they don't feel like they're evil. They feel like they're motivated to do things to make things better, which would be good, right? So everyone who's fighting everybody believes they're fighting on the right side. How can that be? Then that got me thinking, maybe it's never really been about a battle between the good and evil. Maybe that's just a clever trick of the ones who want to conquer and oppress the awakening, or the near awakening, or the potential to awaken souls. Maybe the battle has always been simply between distortion and truth. Truth you can't deny. It just is what it is. That is a cat. That's it. Now, anything further than that would be a distortion. And then we get into the whole filters and lenses of each individual who sees the world around them based on their own experiences, which is all distortion. We're all adding to the distortion, not even realizing that we're adding to it. We're trying to fight a battle between good and evil as a distorted personality. The ancients talked about finding your truth, speaking your truth. How can that be? How can Audra speak her truth when her personality, the Audra personality, is riddled with distortion? Because I'm riddled with experiences that cause trauma, perspectives, beliefs, ideas, conditionings. How can I speak my truth? It's distorted. So even by me trying to be authentic, am I not still adding to the distortion? So was that whole movement of speak your truth, know thyself, was that just a clever ploy by the ones who are deceitful to get us to think that we're on the right path to awakening, that we're in alignment with ourselves? I'm actually thinking that the only way that the suggestion of knowing yourself or speaking your truth could be legit is if the ancients meant know thyself, the higher self, the part of you that is divine. Know that part of you. And from there, speak that truth, not your personality truth, because that is not correct. It's full of distortion. That's the only way that would make sense. So it's more likely that that got hijacked. That message in this whole new spiritual age movement got hijacked. And we're all walking around speaking our truth like we know what's going on. All righteous. And we're just adding to the distortion on this planet without even realizing it. And the clever ones who want that, just sitting back, watching our naiveness, destroying ourselves. There is a difference between my truth and the truth. And we have to learn to operate from the truth and align ourselves with the truth and create from that place. Now, I don't know what that looks like because none of us have been doing it. But that's, I think, is the path we're supposed to be on. Not my truth, not your truth, the truth, the thing that cannot be denied. The sun has set below the horizon. It is now nighttime. That cannot be denied. That is the truth. And maybe from that place, that's how we come to acceptance. And maybe even acceptance isn't the right word. I can accept that that is a cat. That doesn't make much sense. Maybe instead it's I acknowledge that that is a cat. I don't have to accept it, or maybe I do, but not in the same context that we think, because accepting usually implies that we're okay with it. Maybe there's a better word. If you can think of a better word, comment below. But I digress. Point being, I think that it's becoming more and more clear that we are actually playing a bigger hand in our own demise, socially, spiritually, than we're realizing. And we have to wake up and see this clever ploy of how we're labeling ourselves righteous and good, just like every other person on this planet, no matter what they're involved with. Everybody justifies their actions. And how can that be all righteous, all good? Because that in itself is a distortion. So the battle is not between good and bad, right and wrong. The battle is between distortion, perspectives, opinions, and truth, what is. And if we're going to try to align with a higher way of living and being, we have to figure out how to move into living by the truth, just the truth. No slants, no perspectives, no opinions, no distortions, just truth. Now, if you happen to have a way of doing that, comment below and let me know, because this is something new that I'm going to be pondering on more and more, streamlining down my personal opinions about something versus the actual truth of what is. And that, I think, is the key for us to move to a higher level of interacting with the world around us from a still point, from a place of just truth, no distortion. And then, because we're living from that place, we're no longer putting energetic deposits into the collective distortion. We're pulling our energy back and aligning it with coherence, aligning it with truth. Maybe that's how we shift things, guys. Maybe it isn't about fighting anything. It's just about aligning to what is and allowing what is and continuing to move our attention to more and more of what is and pull our energy back from the involvement of the distortions of judgment. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And in the meantime, guys, that's all I got. Good luck on your journey. Until next time, namaste.